Hey, if you haven't heard, AirDNA has made some changes. We're going to go over those changes right now and how they impact you and how you're evaluating your short-term rental properties. A lot of it's for the good, but as any changes come, there's also some cons as well. So we're going to go over all that here in this AirDNA 2023 review. Hey, what's going on? This is Kyle Stanley, the Fearless Investor on YouTube, and we have a short-term rental company that we were able to build up to over 70 properties in just over 3 years. Since then, we've scaled back to about 50 as the economy has changed and a lot of things are changing with short-term rentals, but that's not why we're here to talk. I just wanted to give you a little bit of background about me in case you're coming across this video and you're like, who is this guy? I've been using AirDNA since 2019. It has been the number one tool for me to use in order to really evaluate, is this a deal or is it not? Should I go for this property, whether I own the property or do it through arbitrage or coasting, or should I go ahead and push this thing to the side? So when AirDNA came out with changes, I'm going to be completely honest. I was like, why? Like, I'm all for change, but like, this is such a good tool. Why are we changing things? And then I went through it the first time and I was like, oh my gosh, it's slow. It's not what I'm used to. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. And then I did a demo with AirDNA that I'm actually going to share with you. One of the AirDNA reps right here is going to be on this YouTube video. And I was like, oh, I get it now. Like, this is actually way, way better. I can deal with some of the, tweaks that need to still be made and some of the bugs that are still going on. But all of the things that have changed, as you will see in this demo, are definitely for the better. And the number one thing that is definitely for the better is the price. That's right, they've changed the pricing, which is long overdue. So many times I wanted to, for my students, buy a bunch of licenses and sell it back to them at a very nice wholesale discount. But AirDNA made it very difficult for many years for me to be able to do that. Now, with this low price model that they have that I'm going to show you here in a second, anyone can get started with AirDNA, whether it's free or $15 a month compared to what it used to be. So let's go ahead and show you the screen right now on what their new pricing model is. The biggest difference here is it's an easy decision now to be a part of AirDNA, whereas before it was kind of convoluted. You got a decent amount of information for free, but then they asked you for $40 a month or $90 a month or $100 a month just for one city. Whereas now, the free, you get market insights and historical data for an entire year for one user, but this is across the entire world. That's the biggest thing. It's no longer city by city or state by state. It's all completely worldwide. So everything you see, no matter if you have the free, the basic, the pro, or the advanced, completely worldwide. Basic, you get a little bit more on the sub-market insights, so this is where I would at least recommend starting off. $15 a month billed annually, and you can always upgrade to then the pro, $25 per month, again billed annually. But the basic exports, the market insights, the 3 years of historical data, that's all really easy to stomach for just $25 a month. The biggest thing I would say is don't jump into the advanced quite yet. That's my personal recommendation, because the biggest difference here is that you get 5 years plus STR listing insights. And to me, if you're savvy enough, you can get a lot of those STR listing insights, maybe about 80% of that just by looking at the actual Airbnb or VRBO listing itself. But the STR listing insights you'll see from the demo right now with the rep from AirDNA is going to show you all that extra data that you can get. But before I do, if you're wondering if you should use AirDNA, I'm telling you right now, it's the number one tool that I have been able to use in my business. And for that reason, not only am I using it, but I'm showing you how to do it with our Market Eval Kit, which you can find at fearlesskyle.com/Market Eval Kit. You can go check that out. It's just $27. So pairing an AirDNA membership for free plus $27 could literally save your life when it comes to some of these deals. Do not invest 6 figures into a property until you've used AirDNA and really identified what it's worth. And as you'll see in this demo, there's a lot of information. Which information do I use? Which do I not use? You're going to learn that through that Market Eval Kit. Go check it out. But here is the demo right now with AirDNA's rep, Jamie Singh.
So let's jump in. I have Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina queued up for us. So say you have a lead in this beautiful coastal town. The first thing I'd recommend is coming in. You just go to market. You can search your market here. And then this is going to give you an overview of the market. investability kind of score that takes into account a lot of different metrics that are important for short-term rental investing. These numbers at the top are for the entire market. So just across the board, whether you have a 1-bedroom condo or, 10-bedroom home, you have some just top level metrics. These are great to figure out too, where there's gaps in the market.
Yeah.
Especially if you already have a lead on a home, you can figure out if there's a whole bunch of them, or maybe there's a lot of room to add the growth rate, just a lot of great information. But I really want to drop us down to the occupancy, revenue, rates, and RevPAR section. And this is where you can get really nuanced based on the property you're looking at. So I recommend coming up here and setting your filters to mimic what you're looking at. So let's say we're looking at we'll do 3-bed, 2-bath, because that's a super popular configuration in this town.
Which, by the way, I am so excited about these new filters, because before we could only search it based on the bedroom count. Now we can do bathroom count. We can do the type of house, whether it's an apartment, the number it accommodates. That's so huge. That makes everything so much more streamlined.
And you can get a little bit more nuanced too if you want to get into like what price tier you're aiming to fall into.
That's good.
We'll have a whole bunch of other metrics and filters coming out for you in the next few months. So these filters will then reflect all of the charts in the occupancy, revenue, rates, and RevPAR section. So now we're looking specifically at metrics for 3-bedroom, 2-bath properties. And so you can get down into the nitty gritty, and we changed it so that you don't have to know what any terminology means. Chart titles are now in question form, and then the chart data answers that question.
Wow.
So, in what was the percentage of May that was occupied? 65.8. It's really easy, right for you right there.
Nice.
The first chart or the first question for each of these sections is available in that free subscription.
Okay.
And then these get unlocked as you go up the different sub tiers. And I do want to point out that you will unlock every chart on this page with a pro subscription.
Okay.
Is our most popular. I definitely recommend that one to everyone. It gets you the 95% of the information you would want.
Okay.
Inside the app.
Awesome. And really quick, can we go into just an individual listing just so people can see what they're going to learn if we actually select a listing that we find, hey, this looks like my house. Maybe I can use this as my comp to show exactly what I'm going to make, because these are similar houses.
Yep. And you'll notice, so you just go into your market, you come into this active STR listing section. You'll notice that this is still respecting those filters we set. So we're only looking at 3-bed, 2 baths. You can get just a quick overview of their actual revenue, occupancy rate, and ADR is at the bottom of the card. And then this potential number is if they were available for rental 365 days a year, what we think they could make. This house is nearby the one I own, and they are available all of the time. So it's pretty spot on.
Nice.
And then the days that they were available. Again, if you're looking to have it just be an investment, this is great to know, because you don't want to compare to someone who maybe only rents it part-time.
Okay. Yeah. Do you want to click on that listing?
Yep. So you go into it, and then this is what you'll see with a basic or pro subscription. So you'll be able to see their photos. You don't even have to go anywhere. What the type of property is, this is really interesting. It's where they fall in the price tier. So this is considered an upscale property for this area. And then again, those key metrics. You can also click on, when you're in these listings, you can click on the Airbnb or Vrbo icon right here, and it'll take you to the active listing on that platform.
Perfect.
As long as it's still up over there.
But the stuff below is where you would get with advanced.
Yep. So if you are in the advanced tier, you get additional information. You can look at their historical performance for up to 5 years for occupancy, ADR, and revenue. You can see what amenities they have. You can see their live booking calendar, which will show you booked, available, and blocked days. And then some of their top competitors. So a great way to get additional comps if you're trying to build out your business case.
I love, you just pointed something out that I didn't know about: booked, available, or blocked. That's always been the biggest struggle when you're looking at a future calendar with a property on Airbnb, is Okay, yeah, it looks like it's booked for the next 6 months, but maybe it's just blocked for the next 6 months, and I don't really know. How accurate has your team been able to get on the booked versus blocked part of it?
We're pretty accurate, and that is a newish feature this year, so we're
Okay.
continuously improving it, but we scrape that information in and run it through some proprietary algorithms.
Okay.
And then with properties that are directly connected to us, we get even more insights there. So it'll just keep getting better.
Perfect. And Jamie, last question. Is there anything else except for right now what we're looking at that is offered in advanced, but not offered in pro or basic or free?
This is the main one. The other thing that you get with advanced is getting up to 5 years of historical data.
Okay.
With basic, you get 2 years, and with pro, you get 3 years.
So my overall thoughts on the new AirDNA interface, I love it. It took me a while to come around, but I absolutely love it. And the biggest thing you could see there, right, was all of the new filters and all the new user-friendly questions to get the data that you need. Those were the two biggest things for me. And if you already had an AirDNA membership before, you're already experiencing that with the advanced. But if you didn't have one, you're going to miss some of that with the pro version. But I'm a big believer that if you can go to the listings and look at the calendars and look at some of those details that maybe are going to be missing from what you don't get with the listing details in the advanced version, you can kind of come to a conclusion on your own for about like 70 to 80% of it, but it takes some practice. So if you can do the advanced version, by all means, like go for it right away. I also love the fact that the historical data is now going back 2 years, 3 years, even up to 5 years, whereas before it was just a rolling 365 days. More data equals more opportunities for me to be able to see what are the trends, right? Because in 2021, things were booming. 2022, not as much. 2023, I don't know. Maybe it's leveled out for you. Maybe it hasn't, but you get to look at that and say, okay, 2021 was really high, and now I see this downward trend, so I should continue that into the next 365 days. Or 2021 was high, it went down low in 2022, but then it stabilized in 2023. I can look at those things and I can now start to come to some conclusions just by knowing that historical data. And of course, the pricing model is amazing. I'm really excited about that. More data, more information for less money. That's definitely a good thing. My only con on this is that it's kind of moving slow. It takes a couple more clicks to get to the information that I want. And I can deal with that. If I get to filter down things like I can now with those new filters and not just filter out, I want 3 bedrooms or more, but I can do 3 bedrooms plus 3 baths and this many accommodations. It needs to have this information. It can only be a house. It can't be an apartment. I can now filter down those things. So now I'm clicking on less properties to try to find the best comp for the lead that I have. That's going to save me some time as well. So it kind of cancels each other out. Plus, AirDNA is working on tweaking those things so that it will start to move faster. You won't have to click as many times to get to the listings or to get back to the submarkets like you currently have to do. So if you're ready to get started with AirDNA, click on the link down below to get your either free or basic or pro or advanced membership. Get started today. And of course, if you want to get the Market Eval Kit to show you how to navigate through some of these things to save some time and know how to really identify a property if it's a deal or a dud, go to fearlesskyle.com/6FF.